Today we'll see segment routing with IPv6. For this IGP I am going to use is ISISTE. So for this the setup we are going to use is FRR and Linux. So already we have done a similar thing for OSPF TE, that is for SRV4. SR segment routing for V4. This is for segment routing for V6 with ISIS. So we have 4 nodes H1, H2, H3 and 4. It is connected linearly like this. So how to depict it in the Docker is, you have to depict in the Docker like this: SRV6, where H1, H2 are connected with MAC ETH1, H2 MAC ETH2, H3 and H4 MAC ETH3. So already all the configurations are already shared in that OSPF document. You can see that to create a Docker. So the setup also is, we'll see, this is the H1 first node. So this is the command to start the node. This is the second node H2. This is H3. And this is H4. So once all the Dockers are started, you can see in the bridge. Then we have to remove, before starting everything, we have to create a network driver. So I have already created a network driver that is created with this script. So this is the script used to create. So create a MAC ETH interface, all the 3 interface for 3 drivers: V4 address, V6 address. You have to enable IPv6 and give the subnet, and parent will be MAC ETH interface. So this is how. And before starting, since it uses segment routing Mpls in the control plane, we need Mpls router and these 3 commands. So you have to do mod prompt. If you run the script, it's enough, it will do that. So it is already done in my case. So ls mod grep Mpls. You can see whether Mpls is installed. So it is installed. You have to give ls mod grep Mpls. So it is installed. And now I am going to remove the bridge. So this is the command. I will remove, and then I will add it back in the bridge interface. So this is script. So in all the previous videos we have done the same thing. So here we are going to bridge with the ISISTE. So if you run this command, it will start creating the connection. This is the script, and just connecting to H1, H2, H2, H3, H3, H4. So now if you go here, you have IPv6 also. If you are not sure how to enable IPv6 in Docker, there is a separate video, you can check that. So this is H1, this is H2, H3 and H4. So now we are done. Now if you see the bridge, it will not have any values. All the configurations will route to MAC ETH interface: MAC ETH1, MAC ETH2 and MAC ETH3. So now we need to enable FRR. For that, since I am going to use ISIS, go to this file etc and enable ISIS. Same we should do on all the Dockers. So Docker 2, etc FRR daemons. So this is the third node. We'll do the same in the fourth node also. once the configuration is enabled, you have to do this sudo systemctl status FRR. It will not be running. You can just check this. So you have to start it. The same command should be given on all the 4 nodes. Third node, and this is the 4th node. So all the 4 nodes it is created. Now you can just go to vtysh, show Mpls status. Want to know the steps to enable Mpls? That is a separate video, you can check that. So now we have show interface brief. So all the IPv4 as well as IPv6 address is there. So now we'll try to configure ISIS. So before configuring ISIS, we have to enable some configurations. We'll do that. Actually, we have to enable IPv6 in all the host machines as well as all the Dockers. So you have to come out of the vtysh and you have to give this command. We'll open one more session. This is the main host. So there also I am giving. This is the second node. This is the third one. And this is the fourth one. In all the 4 nodes we have to enable. The next step which we have to enable is this one, MAC-ETH. This you have to give in the host node only, because MAC-ETH is in that interface. You have to enable this. This is nothing but enable forwarding. This is MAC-ETH interface. We are enabling Mpls for all the 3 interfaces, loopback as well as we are giving the platform label. And then we have to enable these commands in all the Dockers, inside all the Dockers. Some will have only ETH1 and ETH2. I have just copied for my convenience. As well as all the 4 nodes. Make sure it is configured in all the 4 nodes before start. Once this is done, now we will try to configure ISIS in each node. This is the configuration. I'm just copying it and giving it in the first node inside vtysh. Go to conft and paste the configuration. And then if you go to int0 IPv6 address I am configuring. So what this command means is we are inside interface loopback I am enabling ISIS ETH1 also, because it has only one interface. In router ISIS we are giving the network ID, topology IPv6. IPv6 address I am enabling in the loopback for SR. For normal ISIS by default it will take. So initially it is not up. We have to configure the second. For second node, this is the configuration, exactly the same thing, but this network ID is different. On 2 interfaces I am going to enable. So IPv6 address, WR to save. So if you see now it will start enabling. So it has started. Go to the third node configuration. This is the third node configuration. enable in loopback ETH2 and ETH1. This is the third node. I am just pasting the configuration. In loopback I am giving IPv6 address 3. So then it's the last one I have to configure. Here I will give v6 address as 4.4.1/120. So now we are done with all the normal configurations. Now we will see whether ISIS neighbor has come up. Yes, but MPLS table will not be there. Now you can see all are IPv6 route. So it will not be in IP route, it will be in IPv6 route. I shows that it is learned with ISIS. So now we'll try to ping to 4.4.4. Here we should ping to 1.1.1. So still the routes are not at learned. Now it has learned 4.4.4. So to go to 4.4.4 it uses this link local. So now, but it does not use any label. Since you can see MPLS table is here. Now we can ping to. So it's working. We can capture the packets and we can check. It should be normal. -I MAC equal. It should not go with, so you can see it is a normal packet without MPLS label. So this is the first step we have done. You can see in the other nodes also MAC ETH1 and MAC ETH2. Just enable and we can check once. Only 3 interfaces are there. So here also it does not go with any of the MPLS label. MAC3 also no labels are. These are all ISIS packets. So I'll stop this. Now we will start to configure MPLS now. Before configuring MPLS, you can just check in all the tables whether everywhere we don't have any label. Now there in the third node also we don't have. So from the first node we'll start configuring. So this is the first node. Only thing you have to change is this MPLS TE we have to enable and we have to give the router ID. And we have to enable the segment routing with the node and the prefix. This 1021 is the unique ID. So this is the loopback IP. So I'll just give this in the first node. The same I'm giving in the second node. This is the third node. This is the last one. Now we are done. Now we'll check the configuration once. You can see it starts. Still it will take some time. So we're getting the labels into. So this is default implicit null. If you want to configure explicit null also you can configure. So now we are done. So we go to IPv6 route and you can check the table. So to see, go to 4.4.4.4, it puts the label 17024, and you can see the table, it is pushing that entry and with the outgoing label this. So if you go to 1, so you can see the label, it is again same label. Here if it comes, it does an explicit null, so the last node should not have any label. So now this is how the table looks like. We will try to ping and see first whether it works. So it is working. Now we can capture the packets and we can check. See, it goes with 1704 in 8th one. This is ETH2, it is bridge 2, and third bridge it will not have any. So this is what. In the second node, there was a configuration issue. Router ID should be the loopback IP. I have corrected that, and you have to put OSPF ISIS1, and here also this is also wrong. You have to change this. ::1 128 index 1022. This is the correct configuration. This is the packet capture. If you see the request, sorry, this is MAC ETH1. This is the first where we are sending. That sends with the label 17024. You can see this is the Mpls label and normal ICMP message. And the center node also you should have a label. And the last node, it should not have any label. So replies will not have any label. This is the reply, and this is the first node. So that's all.